up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's stealing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Graham record for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Yeah, it's the Buckeye Show, all right. I'm Tito. Bodie back there running things. Bodie, I was thrown for a bit of a curveball as soon as I logged into the computer over here. I always have the YouTube called up. Like to, if anyone chats has a question,
check us out on YouTube, WBNS Radio.
Right. And from the last time I logged in, it was on with the morning juice.
Okay.
Which I did with Bobby.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
Yep. Well, let's say a few days ago. Let me tell you why I would say a few days ago. Because I realized I'm wearing the same shirt.
Hey, that's all right. I'm wearing the same shorts as I did a couple days ago, I was only in here for a few hours, so they weren't really dirty per se. That's how I see it. So.
Well, this has been washed since then. I'm just saying, though, it freaked me out.
So you got me beat there.
That's fine that I looked at that and saw myself in that same shirt. Okay, we've got a very short show for you tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. And, Bodie, I wasn't sure how to attack tonight's show because it could be a depressing show. It could be
we weren't even supposed to have a show.
I know.
If things went the way they were kind of supposed to go last night.
Right. By the way, Tim's back tomorrow. Okay.
Pregame,
yes.
Yeah, we'd be doing in the network pregame coverage right now if the Buckeyes had kind of did what they were maybe supposed to do last night.
And so I wasn't sure if I should be in a great mood and be excited about, just the weather and we got the jackets, a meaningful game coming up and all that, or I was going to be like, God, the season did not end the way I wanted it to. But the Ohio State men did lose last night, breaking news, to Iowa 77-70. And as much as when we looked at the season, the way it progressed, early, like before the season started, there was lots of hope with the way last season ended. Obviously with Jake Diebler, the way that he was able to get that first win, a big win over Purdue in his first game as an interim coach. And then they go out and they win a couple of games of Big Ten tournament. It's looking like they get, maybe, who knows what will happen. They don't get in. And so this year, though, they add some transfers in. They add Michi. They add Bradshaw. They add Parrish. All these guys in. And there was a lot of hope for this year. A lot of hope after the big win over Kentucky. They dominated Kentucky, and Kentucky's a damn good team. They won some games in January, which they haven't done in recent years. But it was kind of the same thing we saw in the last couple of years of the Holtman era down the stretch. They lost some games. See Northwestern at home here, and fell apart down the stretch in some games as well. And yesterday was no different than that. And I'm not ready to This was his first year as a head coach, Jake Diebler, first full year. Let's see what he does. Let's see what happens in the offseason, see who comes back. But this year's team, though, and yesterday in the loss to Iowa, it was the bench again. Quez Glover, Bradshaw, Evan Mahaffey, Colin White combined to score 3 points in 27 minutes. I read Adam Jar's article of the Dispatch. He said Ohio State, their bench was outscored 168-59 over their last 7 games. Aaron Bradshaw is allergic to paint.
That's, you know what, Tito, you could have said, when you paused there, you could have said a lot worse things.
I know I could have.
Let's just call it what it is.
Listen, Aaron Bradshaw is fine if you've got a center.
He's a fine young man.
I would play him if you've got a center. He can't be the center. You can't have him as your center. It just doesn't have, if you have Felix Akpara in there, that's fine. I'll take Bradshaw with him. But you can't count on Bradshaw to rebound the way he should. And maybe he'll be fine. I don't know what's going to happen with him next. I don't know who's going to transfer out. We're not sure on that stuff yet. I know 5 of the 6 leading scorers for this, 5 of the top scorers from this year's team will or could return next season. We're not sure if they all will. I wouldn't blame someone like Thornton if he decided I want to play another year of college basketball but go somewhere else. I would not blame him for that. I hope he doesn't. I love him.
It'd be bad for the Buckeyes, yeah.
It'd be bad for the Buckeyes,
Him,
yes.
Royal, and Mobley are the 3 that just
gotta keep.
You have to keep those guys, period.
Right. You have to keep those guys. And I'm curious to see how they'll attack the transfer portal. And they do, like, look, they need people that can bang down low. And they don't have that on. They don't have enough of that on this team. And they certainly, I can't believe the bench just scored 3 points in 27 minutes. That's astounding to me because I think Glover can score. I know Mahaffey can score, but 3 points in 27 minutes is not a good look for this bench. The way the college basketball crown works, if you're one of the top 2 rated Big Ten teams that did not make the NCAA tournament, you have to go to the CBC. So the only way they wouldn't is they didn't have players. If guys are saying, I'm out, and they don't have players, then they can obviously get out of it then. But
which could be a very real possibility. Maybe not even for Ohio State necessarily,
right.
but several schools. I mean, we've seen it in bowl games in recent years where it's just like,
sure,
sorry, man, we're tapping out. We lost half our coaching staff and a quarter of the roster. We don't have enough to go out there and field a football team.
The top 2 in the Big 12, top 2 in the Big East, top 2 in the Big 10 that are not in the NCAA tournament have to play in the CBC. They can't go to the NIT, which just further means the NIT is stupid. I don't know why I have the NIT anymore. It shouldn't even be happening anymore. NIT.
I think the NIT, Timmy and I were talking about this last night, and I think he said it's basically all the other major conferences you didn't just list that are going there now. So what'd you say, Big East, Big 12, Big 10?
Yeah.
So it's like ACC, SEC, and
but they can also get at-large bids into the CBC if they want to go do this thing. But the CBC, though, it doesn't take place until like the end of March.
Yeah, the whole thing is just incredibly stupid. Can we just call it what it is?
There's NIL money that goes to the players. The players do get some NIL money for going out there. There's some kind of package.
Do they deserve it?
Right.
You're playing in this tournament.
Hey.
I'm sorry. We don't need to mention any more names here, but there's a few guys on this Buckeye team that probably were a little overpaid this year.
I can think of one guy who probably picked up his check every month wearing a ski mask. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But so we'll see if they do that. But like back in the day, when it was like a 48-team NCAA tournament, the NIT was big. NIT used to be bigger than NCAA way back when. But nonetheless, even when it was like a 48-team NCAA tournament, the NIT got some damn good teams. Even though it went to 54, there was still quality basketball played in the NIT because the transfer portal wasn't what it was and all this. You had seniors and juniors that were sticking around still, and you could have good quality basketball in there. It's not there anymore in the NIT. The NIT, I don't know how they're still in business. I don't know how they even – I don't know what their TV ratings are, but there's no reason to watch the NIT ever, in my opinion. But Ohio State, I know if you look at, they got this rating this year. Their Ken Palm is this and all. They're not in the NCAA tournament. It's not going to happen. They're not. You can't go in there at 17 and 15, having lost the games they did down the stretch. So you can be a Buckeye fan and be excited about that. Say, maybe we'll wait and see. No, breaking news for you. They're not going to make it. Notre Dame's not making it either, are they?
Not quite. No, they barely made the ACC tournament. And 15 out of 8 teams go in that sucker. and they did win a game, though.
Yeah, I was the first 15 seed to do it. We may have to jump up with Reimer. Reimer is the Carolina guy. It looks like
they're hot. And they're going to play a Duke team that's not going to have Cooper Flagg tomorrow night.
Look out.
Don't let them get in.
Oh.
There's 67 other teams that don't want to see the Tar Heels in that tournament.
You don't want to see them.
Or maybe you do, but...
Well, yeah, but Cooper Flagg's injury, though, that was ugly.
That was
Leaves
nasty.
in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
You don't play in the rest of the ACC tournament. Hope you have him back for the NCAA tournament. But this goes back to why I think that what your team, whatever the conferences are, like the Big Ten, for instance, they should play their conference tournament a little bit earlier to get more time off, to get rest before the NCAA tournament. The Big Ten ends on Sunday with 2 NCAA tournament teams in all likelihood that are going to have to play probably on Thursday or Friday. But if you take more time off, like if you took if your championship was Saturday or Friday, I know they do it for money and all that, but you'll see a lot of teams, though, I think they get extra rest because of when their conference tournament games are played. All right, coming up next, we'll play some hoops now. We're from Diebler and Micah Parrish. And, let's talk about the OSU women a little bit. We'll do that next. Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
No matter what you love about March hoops,
It's always mad.
but we're always rooting for our Buckeyes. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to crack open a Coors Light and choose chill all tournament long. Join the ESPN Tournament Challenge presented by Coors Light for a chance to win cash, prizes, and even a flyaway trip to a mountain retreat. Just submit a photo of your broken bracket at CoorsLight.com/MarchHoops. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 13th at the 2025 Ohio State Forefather, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down the tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostateforefather.com. Go Bucks!
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Now through March 31st, get 2.99 APR financing or up to $3,000 customer cash on a powerful new 25 Tundra. Depending on model, excludes TRD Pro, or lease a 25 Tundra SR Crew Max for $449 a month or 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Looking for a very special way to commemorate the 9th national championship in Ohio State football history? Then check out the beautiful Ohio State timepieces at OxiaTime.com. Oxia has created a series of heirloom quality designs to celebrate the Buckeyes, including the limited edition Ryan Day autograph box sets. Equally impressive to the quality of their products is the quality of the people behind these watches. Go to OxiaTime.com to learn more on their backstory and claim your piece of Ohio State history. That's AXIATime.com.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's new $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5. It's the new $5 Pizza Pals menu from Donato's. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens of your latest forecast. We're looking at great weather this evening. Mild temperatures and mostly sunny skies will drop down into the mid-40s overnight. Temperatures in the upper 70s near a record by Friday evening as clouds increase. Rain chances come in as we head through Friday night, early Saturday morning. Those chances turn to storm chances by the second half of the day Saturday. Keep an eye out for some possible strong weather. That's your latest Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Hating Michigan is our favorite national pastime. This is the Buckeye Show.
Bodie, I got a new nickname, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
I feel like Tito kind of fits you, but
it does.
Nonetheless.
This is what it might be, though. You ready?
Yep.
Now, I will tell you why I'm called the doctor. Because I kept hearing how Tim Hall was fighting through all this sickness and on the air and could have gone home sick. He was on his deathbed, whatever. And he was fighting through because Ohio State was going to win maybe against Iowa. They'd be here tonight. As soon as Tim heard my voice on the Buckeye Show, he texted me and said, I'll be back tomorrow. I heal all even when I don't see them. That's me.
Good for you, Tito. That's a pretty good skill to have.
I think so, too. By the way, Selection Sunday, 6 o'clock for the men, 8 o'clock for the women. By the way, the Ohio State women, they're bordering right there on the 4 or 5 seed in all likelihood. If they're a 4 seed, it's a big deal on the women's side because that means you get to host the first 2 rounds. We'll find out what they're doing, Kevin McGuff's squad, where they'll be. That is a reason to watch the women's bracket reveal at 8 o'clock. I will have Kevin McGuff on my show on Fan Sports Sunday. That's on from noon to 3. I think I'm at 12:15 on Sunday to talk about that. I also will have Clark Kellogg on my show for a segment on Sunday.
Ooh.
How about that?
Before he even gets to CBS.
Yes.
He's normally on the Selection Sunday show.
He'll be on there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him on Sunday, and we'll have him on there for a segment as well. So make sure you tune in for that. But that's all going on there for that. So anyway, don't worry about Ohio State won't be in the NCAA tournament. I still love Diebler. I want him for another year. I want to see what happens. Give him time. He had 1 year as a head coach now and a few games previous, obviously the end of the previous season. But
this is kind of what you signed up for a little bit, right?
I think so.
To grow on the job. It's not like it's tough to tell Ohio State fans to have patience because the men's program for the last several years has kind of made people's patience run thin. And I totally get that, man. There was a time not that long ago where Thad Matta was basically, making the tournament was the floor.
Yeah,
there was realistic, like second weekend, third weekends type stuff on a regular basis. But Bjork came in here and made the hire with Diebler, and I feel like you gotta give him at least 2 years and maybe a third. We'll see how next year goes. And like I said, I know it's tough to miss out on the NCAA tournament again for the Buckeyes, but I just think that you've already made the hire. Now, should they have made that hire in the first place? That's a pretty good.
You can argue that.
You could make that argument either way, 100%. But
what you said before is that's the way I've always viewed the Ohio State program. Making the tournament should be the floor,
no question.
Okay, and making it to the second weekend, the Sweet 16 there at that point. That's a really good year. Like, I don't expect Ohio State to be national championships every year basketball.
Should be more of a regular basis, though, I would think. And it's tough because it's like, let's live in this fun fantasy land where Diebler makes a run to the Final Four next year.
Right.
Then it's like if you don't make it to the Sweet 16 for maybe 2 or 3 years, like I think that's okay. Like, I don't know. I also think it's tough, too, just in this NIL age. Like, I don't think we can just traditionally look at it and be like, well, here's where Ohio State's been for all these years. That's where the NIL is kind of, that's probably half the reason the SEC is so damn good now in college basketball is because they're paying everybody. But and let's be honest, a lot of the dollars around here, where are they going? To the team that just won the national championship game less than 2 months ago. So it's like, I think expectations I completely agree with you. They should at least be in the NCAA tournament. But like past that, I don't really know where they sit because the Thad Matta era just isn't what it is now. Not that they weren't paying guys back then, too. But
right. Well,
and not Thad Matta, some of the other programs.
We don't know.
Calipari may or may not have been paying some of his players at Memphis and Kentucky, but it's a lot more legal, and a lot of schools are doing it now.
What I'm curious about, Bodie, is this, though. Yes, there is not unlimited funds. I know Ohio State's got great donors, NIL. They make a ton of money in football. I understand all those things. But there are not unlimited funds for the athletic program to dole out to every sport.
No question.
Okay. Football is always going to be king.
Yes.
Football, if you ask Ohio State fans, would you rather take money away from football and put it towards basketball? Everyone's going to say no. No way in hell.
Maybe besides Scotty Vegas, but.
Well, Scotty Vegas and maybe Tim Hall even.
That's true, yeah.
Maybe they.
Reimer. We got a few people.
Yeah.
The percentage is small, though.
Right.
I agree with you.
So, and I'm not saying that Ohio State shouldn't be competing. I'm not trying to give them an out on this. They should be better in basketball than they were this year. They should have had a more successful season. Should have, no doubt. They did dump money into the dump. That's the wrong word to use. That was not intentional. They did put some money into the program in the offseason to get this roster to where it was. But you would be, and I've asked this before, what would you rather have? Ohio State to win a national championship football or basketball? I give you one of the two. Next year, one of the two. What do you want? Everyone's going to say football. I can't believe, except again,
our select few.
The Tim Hall, Jacob Reimer,
You might get a few more people on that side just because football did just win it.
You might.
But nonetheless, yes. Most years, I think if you just said, like, hey, Ryan Day is playing in the national championship game next year or Jake Diebler, most people are going with the first.
I made the argument that, I did this last year. Maybe 2 years ago I did it, and I got roasted for it, which happens often. But I said, I think in Ohio State, the question I asked was, which would be more special? A college basketball national championship or a football one? And I got my head ripped off for that. Like, how could you even ask that question? And my thought was, well, because they've won a football championship in your lifetime.
A few now.
Yes.
Even if you're pretty young. Like, I'm 28. I'm on the younger side of things. Yeah. And I've been alive for Ohio State to see them win 3 national championships.
Not many people,
It's been 4 decades since Notre Dame's won one.
Well, that's our Fighting Irish podcast we're going to do later on. But they haven't won the national championship since 1960.
Which, let's be honest, if you were alive to see it, God bless you, but it's not what it is today. I don't even know how big the tournament was back then, but I'm guessing you didn't have to go through the gauntlet that it takes to get to win one today.
No, it was like 16 teams or whatever.
Okay, so yeah.
If you were alive for that, I'm sure you tuned into us by turning a dial to listen to us. So that's okay. We love you anyway. I appreciate you listening. Yes, all you guys. John Diebler. Let's get John Diebler on this team. Jake Diebler talked about the loss to Iowa. Here is what Jake had to say.
I don't necessarily feel like today was a poor performance. I know we didn't maybe shoot the ball as well, and we had a couple defensive breakdowns, I think. But I felt like our energy and our effort was good. They're playing with a lot of momentum, and they shot the ball from 3, and certainly some of that was our fault. But they made us pay when we made those mistakes. I mean, that's what teams that have kind of that momentum, and we've seen that lately as they, I think, adjusted to playing without Freeman, who's was a great player, certainly. So this game was different than the first time we played him.
I am confident that Jake Diebler is going to work his tail off starting today with his eye towards next season. I know they still have some postseason games they're going to play in all likelihood, but I'm just saying, like, right now, Jake Diebler, he will not be outworked and getting ready for next year. I'm not saying it'll translate to a bunch of wins or an NCAA tournament run, but I am very confident, though, he will not be outworked getting ready for next year.
Yeah, Diebler clearly comes off as a guy that would pretty much rather die than not succeed at this job, considering how much it means to him and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I think, obviously, that all that pretty much starts in the portal. One, keeping the core 3 that we mentioned last segment there with Thornton, Mobley, and then who am I missing? Royal. You got to keep those 3 because that's the tough part with the transfer portal is good news, bad news. You can flip your roster overnight. You can lose some guys, unfortunately, and they got to gain some guys, obviously, and they got to do a much better job than they did this past year because as good as Micah Parrish was and as much of a hit as that was, your other guys kind of were whiffs, if we just want to call it what it is.
They absolutely were, yes.
If they would have been just kind of like solid rotation players, that would have been like, okay, you'd probably be playing still today and maybe a couple more days, and you'd probably be playing next Thursday or Friday.
Right.
But instead, they were kind of whiffs.
And I hope Bruce Thornton sticks around. Like I said, grass is not always greener. Look at Roddy Gale, right? I mean, he did not have a great year at Michigan this year. And most of the time, he was like the 8th guy into the game or something. At the top 5, he was one of the guys on the bench. So, and I thought, I was surprised when he left. But, I don't know. Do you think that Bruce Thornton's back next year?
I would say yes. I mean, it's... I with the portal nowadays, I kind of never trust almost anything.
Right.
I don't think Jeremiah Smith's going anywhere. I don't think Caleb Downs is either. But past that, you could tell me about anything. And I'd be like, yeah, I could see it. I would think that he has a good enough relationship with Diebler. Maybe that's just me guessing. But come back for your 4th year. It's not like they were terribly far off this year. I know they didn't have a very good year. I'm not trying to say like, hey, they were close. But they were on the bubble for most of the season. Maybe, too, he's a guy that it's like you go to him and say, we need you to come back. We got Royal and Mobley coming back, too. And here's who we're going to in for after the portal.
Right.
Here's who we're going after in the portal. And maybe you could try to sell him on that a little bit as well.
And I love him. And I think that if I were being honest with Bruce Thornton, I would say you're not going to go to a bigger program and play a bigger role than you are here.
No, you're the best player on this team.
Best player on this
and
team.
you're going to be again next year.
Right. If you want to go be
and
a
if
bigger
you're not,
role
that's
somewhere
probably a
else,
good thing actually for you.
At a smaller school, you can. But you're not going to go to a bigger school than Ohio State and play a bigger role than we're going to give you at Ohio State this year, is what I would say if I was Diebler.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, we'll see with the whole college basketball crown in Las Vegas, how that plays out. Ohio State, as long as they've got enough players, as long as they don't go like Hoosier style where their team is on the floor with 4 guys, I got to believe they'll play in that then.
Can we say a small, quick prayer that Ohio State does not get one of the 9 p.m. Pacific times or what, 8 o'clock? I know a couple of those first round games are like 8 or 9 o'clock Pacific time. And Timmy and I don't need to be here so late where we run into Shark the next morning.
That's right.
We just don't need that.
You don't need to pass Shark on the way out. Hey, Shark, how you doing? The sound's in. I just got it wrapped up. Game ended at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, you're right. It's been a lot of fun, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Timmy will be back tomorrow because, again, he heard my voice, so he will be back tomorrow. But make sure you stick around because the Jackets are playing some damn meaningful hockey. Jackets time is coming up next. The Jackets are hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. And so check that one out. That's next right here on The Fan.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get 1 line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
No matter what you love about March Hoops,
It's always mad.
but we're always rooting for our Buckeyes. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to crack open a Coors Light and choose chill all tournament long. Join the ESPN Tournament Challenge presented by Coors Light for a chance to win cash, prizes, and even a flyaway trip to a mountain retreat. Just submit a photo of your broken bracket at CoorsLight.com/MarchHoops. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.